And I watched as they stopped when they came through the intersection and threw a bottle, maybe 2 bottles, at me. My name is Dan Kopelman. I am a resident of Colorado since the early 70s. I was actually born in New York. My home was Jewish, considered Jewish, sort of secular. I have become more religious. It actually started maybe 10 years ago, and it's been a progression that sped up significantly during COVID. And then after October 7th, it sort of closed the deal. My path has been one from being sort of the regular kid that you'd meet and not realize is Jewish until they said something, to being someone who I was in the United States Army Reserve. I ended up being a field medic. But when I was at basic training is when I really had my first encounter of anti-Semitism. There are a lot of young guys, and there was a particular gentleman who said something about being an effing Jew, and he really laid it on. I'm only 5'4". I weighed all of about 109 pounds at the time, and it was very intimidating. There were 2 other people that decided what he said was a really bad idea. One of them was my drill sergeant, Sergeant Ferkner, and Sergeant Hightower. And they, shall we say, didn't appreciate that sort of thing from anybody who was in the military. And they had this young man doing push-ups until they were tired. And that was when I realized both that there was anti-Semitism and there were people devoutly in support of Jews. I don't know that I'd call it formative, but it was inspiring to know that there were people that were in support of Jews. On January 24th this year, I was invited to somebody else's home. I went over to this home. We had a beautiful meal. Afterwards, I was invited to go to another home. At about 8:45, I started walking from the first home to the second one, and I was crossing the street, and some people were in a SUV, and I heard somebody say something like, "Hey, are you a Jew?" And I stopped and looked at them, and they said, "Hey, are you a Jew?" And I said, "Yes, I am." They started driving forward, and I was watching them, and I watched as they stopped when they came through the intersection and threw a bottle, or maybe 2 bottles, at me. I looked at them, and apparently they decided they didn't do enough. They pulled forward. I saw 2 kids get out. I saw 2 more get out on the driver's side, and then I saw 1 more get out. So there were 5 of them, and there was 1 of me, and started yelling, "Free, free Palestine," and "You effing Jews, you're killers." They just were saying all these things. So they started moving towards me. I sort of looked around and thought, okay, nobody's here. I've got 5 kids coming towards me. Maybe it's time to just casually walk away. I shook my head, and I turned around and walked away slowly. I could hear a couple of the people that had gone out of view yelling, "Come on, we gotta go now, we have to go now." And the last one was standing there when I glanced back still, and he looked side to side and left. These kids probably came close to completely ruining their lives.